Hey guys, welcome to day number 15. We're halfway through the 30-day practice blueprint. Wow, I can't believe how much you guys are getting for free, and it's going to only get better. So once again, I wish I had this when I was finishing residency in 2009, and I really hope that this helps you guys. Yesterday, we went over something called the shock and awe idea, shock and awe package. Don't get overwhelmed with that. Start with something real simple. Just give it to a patient. Try it with one person. Just see how it goes. And these are kind of like pillars. This is where I didn't invent this. Jay Abraham did, but basically you develop these different pillars in your practice, and you build on them. So you do one, then you do another. So it's going to take some time. It might take a few months. You might have to get exposed to it a few times. Kind of research it, see how it would work, see what you can put together. Don't compare. Okay, basically just try to improve yourself. Try to think of something, because when I compare with others that are way ahead of me, for example, like the Toe Bro with his videos, or my buddy Tom, who's got his YouTube and he makes a ton of money on it, and these things, you kind of get in the gap, what we call. That's what Dan Sullivan calls it. So try not to compare, just kind of do the best you can, and try to improve on yourself. And so that's what I would say, making your first shock and awe. Today, I'm going to kind of this is like a mind-blowing thing about like getting stuff done. Okay, so we have a whole issue. If you're seeing patients just like me, you're seeing patients full-time. We have another 3 doctors. So I produce, I think last year, about 800,000. So you might be producing more than me. This is just me personally. So I'm working a lot. So I'm working pretty much every day. I take a couple of half days a month. So I'm seeing patients, and I still want to get stuff done. And what I've realized is I just don't have time. So one of the techniques is like listening to books, like Audible. I like to listen when I drive. But I need people to do stuff for me. Like I can have the ideas, but you need to use people. And so if you have people in your office, that's great, but my people are already doing other stuff. My office manager, I can like give a few things to them, but like these techie things, you kind of need to be technical to do it. So what I've learned, once again, this was through Strategic Coach, is using other people, using virtual assistants. And there's a couple of different formats you can do that. You can have your own personal virtual assistant, or your own personal assistant just to do stuff for you. They could be in the office. They could do stuff. They could be your scribe and then do all this other stuff for you that you want to. You can get like a practice rep that could do a lot of these things. That's a good way. I don't have one, but that would be a great way, having a rep that would just go talk to other doctors in the community and stuff like that. Then you can also use like virtual assistants, and there's a couple ways of using virtual assistants. I learned these ideas from like Tim Ferriss, and there's another guy named Ari, and he has The Art of Less Doing. And when you do this, basically there's project based, and then there's actual individual person based. So I tend to do the things that are more like project based. So basically I give them this thing to do. It takes them about 20 minutes, and then I pay them however much that is. And I have these delineated like projects that I want them to do. And so in the past, for example, I used to have them do like video editing for my videos. I used to have them do putting all the descriptions underneath of my videos, putting all the tags and other things like that. So I was using them to do that, and then I got a person to do that. And one of the resources that I use quite a bit is something called Trello. And Trello, I'll put a little link to it if you'd like to learn about it. Just for like project management, it works pretty well for getting projects done. Okay, the main ones that I use now as virtual assistants are Fancy Hands. Okay, that's the main one I use to just get things done. And then Fiverr. So Fiverr is more project based. Basically, they do the same thing over and over and over and over, and you just hire them to do that. Fancy Hands is you kind of make up these projects for them. Then there's a couple of other ones that you can use as well. I'll put all these links underneath here of how to do things. But basically, first of all, you have to realize you have to pay money to get stuff done. Okay, pay money to get stuff done. That's the key. That was hard for me to think of. Okay, I know it's hard when you're kind of just starting out and you don't have any money, but what you'll find is you get things done a lot faster if you just have someone else doing it, especially things that are repetitive that you don't like to do. So I like to do videos. I don't like to do all the editing stuff. So I just I pay someone to do that stuff for me. Okay, and I think everyone should as well. Okay, let me share my screen here, and let's get right into it. Okay. Can everyone see that? I think you guys can. And so this is what I'm working on. This is that 30-day blueprint. So first one, Fancy Hands. This is the one that you can do. What they are, they're US-based virtual assistants, and I pay them just so much every month. So if you look here under prices and plans, basically you have different projects. So you have like 5 requests per month. I think this is the one I have for about $30. And these are about 20 minutes of work. So these are little projects that you can do. Just to kind of give you an example, I will show you what some of my projects are. Okay, so this talks about how much time I've saved. So for example, can you send a book, The Gap and the Gain, to this doctor? So this is a doctor that I wanted to kind of wow, and I sent them this book, and they thanked me, and they'll continue to send patients to me. Okay, so they send it, and I just approve the amount of money that I want to send. Another one, LinkedIn. I was at a certain conference, and I wanted to know who was on the call with me. And so what I did is I had fancy hands. They actually looked up everyone and send me the link on LinkedIn so I could reach them. Okay. This is another, I met with a doctor. She's a local primary care, and she was really interested in fasting. So I sent her this copy of this obesity code. I wanted them just to review an article that I wrote. I wanted them to buy a digital recorder. I wanted them to find pillows because my jacuzzi pillows were getting old and I didn't like the way they looked. And I just sent them a picture and they found them for me. Can you find a place to print these stickers? These were my surgery stickers, and they had first they found someone to design them, and then they found someone to print them for me. Can you help me find jeans? Can you find some shoes? So these are just different things. Can you make a Google Doc? Can you set up a Kajabi sequence? This is something cool. So I use Kajabi for my email. And so what I was doing is I wanted to have all of these like repetitive emails going out. Like if someone gets my book download on plantar fasciitis, it'll send them a number of emails. Well, I didn't want to write all those emails. So I just said, hey, could you link to one of these videos each day and just do that for me? Can you give me a list of all the nail salons so I can send them stuff? I had them, they're on my list of things people I send to. Can you get rid of my grill? So I had a grill I wanted to get rid of. I didn't know who would do it. So they found me someone. Can they transcribe a podcast? Help me set up a newsletter. Can you find a house cleaner for my dad in Hill City, South Dakota? Okay. I need to find a place to do a COVID test. Can you find a place to do a COVID test? Can you post stuff on Anchor, my podcast, for me? Can you make a header for me? Can you find a naturopathic doctor for my aunt? Can you send a copy of a book on cancer to someone? Can you make me a new prescription pad or find someone to do that? I need a second screen for my computer. So anything that you need done, I know this is getting real personal, huh? All the crap that I don't like to do, but I have someone do all the stuff I don't like to do. So think about what you want done and have someone else do it. Okay. Okay, here's the thing everyone tells me, but I can do it. Okay. I agree. You can do it, but you shouldn't be doing it. So get someone else to do it. You should be creating content, like making videos, writing blogs, writing books, things like that. That's going to really what benefit you. Even my flying, I have this assistant, Sally. She's great. I send her an email. Can I book hotels? Can I use Expedia? Yes, I'm very good at it, but she does it all for me. It just reduces stress. Okay. Are you sold on the fancy hands? Let's go now to Fiverr. Okay. So I actually opened it right up to my orders on Fiverr, so you can see how much crazy money I spend on Fiverr. But Fiverr is this website. You put in what you want done and you just look, and I tend to look for who's done it a lot. So basically if someone's done it like thousands of times, that's what I do. Okay. So let's look here. This is that badge that I had them produce for me. This was my post-op, my surgery kit thing. That's what they do there. This was a book. So this is the shock and awe package. Okay. So I want to kind of go through, I'll show you that, but I'll go, oh yeah, I wanted to, now this was a good waste of money, good $300 waste of money. Another tip. I wanted to do a Shopify website to try to do something. In the future, there were different levels of this gig. Okay. One was like 25, one was 300. And I just had them do the 300 and then I ended up just deleting it. So better to choose the lower one first. Okay. Because this is the way I spent $300. They designed an ebook for me. They revamped my LinkedIn. They did a Kajabi. That's my website that I use. So they do my website design stuff for me. They did a YouTube trailer for me. They do ebooks. They set up a slide deck, my patient presentation slide decks. They do professional video editing. They did a letterhead. They made a presentation for me, ebook design, flyer. A lot of this is like design stuff that I have them do. They make my presentation. So all my patient presentations, they edit them for me for like $12. They make them look beautiful. They did a press release for me. So anything that you want done, guys, it's super cheap. When I was doing my books on Amazon, they did this book description for me. They just do tons of stuff, anything you want done. Okay, but let me go and share with you how I spend money. Okay, how I do this, what the whole process is. So just for an example, I placed the order June 16th. Okay. So here's the order that he sent me. This was that big one. Okay. And I spent a lot of money on this. Let me see if I can see what the details were. So that's the price. I'm just trying to see how I sent it to him, because I think I sent it to him like in a Google Doc. You placed an order, started the order. I kind of see what he did for me. That's all I'm really seeing. This is the book, and he does different layouts for it. So it was a 300 page book. That's the only thing I can't see how I sent it to him. Usually it puts it in here. Professional. Yeah. Anyway, I can't see it, but that's the one I did. And so basically I think I did it in Google, and I just sent it him with like links to everything else I want included in it. And it was just one big, huge Google Doc. Okay. Of how it was done. So that was a fun one. They're usually not that big. Okay. But they can be, and it makes it a little bit easier. Okay. If you use someone else to do stuff like that. Okay. Let me show you a couple of other ones. This one's called virtualstaff.ph. Okay. And this is how you get a Filipino virtual assistant. I tried one of these, and he got sick and got COVID and never kind of came back. Either he didn't like to work with me, didn't want to say no, or, something else. So here, I'll put a link to that. And then Hey Rach is another one that's pretty reasonable. They can do a lot of admin work. I have a friend, Larry. He uses them to actually answer phones for them. So if you need an extra assistant to do a lot of stuff, you can do that as well. So it's kind of interesting way of doing stuff like that. So there's a lot of different ways to help and to use other people in your practice. Okay, guys, I thought it was so important that I share how I did this so you just wouldn't be overwhelmed. Okay, this is an example of my Google Drive. So this is how I did my welcome packet in June of 2021. So it was my welcome packet, my published articles, and what people are saying. So basically I took these 3 docs and I sent them to the guy at Fiverr. So let me just show you what it included. Okay, just so you know, like this is real simple. Even my PowerPoints, they're all black and white when I do them in Google Slides. So basically I put a headshot, I put the title, I put a little background about me, and I put different sections. Okay. And I put these things, I put these different reviews of patients. I just copied and pasted them from my Google reviews. A welcome letter. Okay. This is that welcome letter that I did. I think I just transcribed this actually. I just was talking and I just put different orders. I made a couple of these QR code things. Here's my blog and my email. And these are my patient courses. These are just copied and pasted. And I put copied and pasted these things here in my courses. So you can see the difference between this and the final product. I just copied a lot of these are just screen captures. You can do these right on your screen. It's called screen capture. And then different videos that I did. And basically this is I just took all my videos and I just copied and pasted the titles here with hyperlinks. And I went to this Foot Vitals and I copied and pasted all the articles here. Now see how they're all different fonts. They're not beautiful. It was really ugly. So if you take this, it looked horrible, but he made it look really, really good. So that was the first thing. These were the published articles. And then these are what patients are saying. Basically all these were I put right in here and I just sent that to him. Okay. So that's all you really need to do. Even if you're doing your presentations. Okay. You do the same thing. You just do a presentation in Google Slides, real simple. You send it to them, they get it for $12. They'll do it for you, and you make it really good. So it's a really good way to save some time. Okay. So once again, I know we went through a lot today in using virtual assistants. I'm going to even do more tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the 80-20 rule for the remainder of these 2 weeks. And I'm going to explain about the 80-20. You may have heard about it. It's called the Pareto principle. I'm going to go a deep dive, and I'm going to basically take the 20% of the things that I do that I think you should be doing that are going to bring you 80% of the results in different areas. Okay, so there's going to be deep dives into these little areas for the next 2 weeks to give you the most content and the most benefit for your practice. So we're going to get into more practical things. What are we going to go over? Basically, I'm going to go over 80-20 things about time, about email, about durable medical equipment, about in-office dispensing, about procedures, about medical records, about orthotics, ultrasound, about PadNet, about learning and development, about non-covered procedures and things like that. So basically, I'm going to do an 80-20 dive each day. What's the most beneficial thing in each of these different hacks of how to be more efficient. Okay, I think you're going to like it. Once again, if you haven't shared this with anyone, please share it with a friend. I will send them an invitation. I'm going to send you a special gift. And if you have comments, let me know. Like if you want me to clarify things, if you think this is still too difficult, if you want me to, I can't hold your hand, okay? But I can help you along the way to make your practice better, okay? Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Okay, thanks.